Welcome back. This is the Profit and Growth Hour, and I'm your host, Dr. Business, here on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte. Here in the studio with me is Nikeema Lee, everyone's favorite intimate relationship coach. Check her out on her website, www.nikeemalee.com, NikeemaLee.com. Her Twitter, her Instagram, @Nikeema Lee. Her Facebook, Nikeema Lee Coaching. She has a wealth of information, a whole lot of knowledge, and a whole lot of experiences that you definitely want to take advantage of. She's over here saying, I do. Understand that in life you do not have to make the same mistakes as other people if you would just open up your eyes, open up your ears, open up your heart, your mind to what others have to share, because some of the heartache and pain perhaps that you're going through could have been avoided if you had just gotten yourself a coach to help you through those situations and circumstances. You still hanging in there with me, Nikeema?
Ain't that right? I'm sitting over here like, not growing up without a mom was the hardest thing. And I always would have a female experience, like a bunch of AKAs were the women who taught me how to cross my legs and how to eat at the dinner table.
Are you an AKA?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Today. Well, future references. But we'll keep it moving. They taught me how to cross my legs and eat food, like at a dinner table with
properly
a knife and a fork and stuff. And like, how to be a lady in the sense of a lady. So it's like, if I hadn't had that, there's like, when I first got married, I didn't know how to mop or to cook.
You serious?
I didn't have to. Because
and he married you?
Yeah, because I'm gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I'm an amazing person.
I'm sorry, there are some basics
Well,
and there are some non-negotiables.
He only knew me for 6 weeks, so technically he was.
So you just had him bamboozled,
he was
and
20.
he had
20.
stars in his eyes and little butterflies in his stomach and whatnot.
He didn't want me to leave.
So
that's how he got me to stay.
Okay, well that makes sense. Okay,
Right.
I can understand. Don't agree with it, but I can understand.
Hey, when you're 20 and having a life, and I've been on my own since I was 14. So by the time I was 20, I was ripe and ready to settle down. I'm like, I've been running the streets for a little while now. I'm ready to go. And he's a little country boy from Mississippi. And he's just like, you're the Jersey girl, and I'm in love. And I was like, okay, listen, this is my life. This is what I've been doing for the last 6-7 years. And understand that I come with this. I come with these suitcases of stuff.
We all come with suitcases.
Oh, no, I love you, and I want to marry you. And I was like, okay, let's get married. Because I had Huxtable, I call Huxtablitis. I had the whole idea of this picturesque family, of what family was, and he was going to give me the opportunity to put my trash out on Thursdays. Because I come from the projects. You throw your trash out the garbage. You throw it down the chimney chute. You left it.
Throw it out the window.
Right. That's all you did.
Duck.
And to go to like Tupperware parties and take the kids on play dates, like that was my vision, because I had this whole Huxtable mentality, like it had to be like the Huxtables. So when he proposed, I literally sat him down and said, look, this is my life. Like I come with this. I come with these insecurities. I come with this baggage. But if you're willing to give me this, I'm willing to be your wife. Like I'll do it. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So in the Army, taught me how to mop a floor and how to peel a potato and all that stuff, because I had no clue.
Military brat.
No, I'm not a military brat. No.
Okay.
But I just joined when I was 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to join.
I joined because I needed the money. I joined the National Guard. I was in college and they came around, and I was sitting in my grandmother's flower shop, which I call Omens all the time. Sitting in my grandmother's flower shop, I'm reading the newspaper about this $25,000 National Guard, to join the National Guard, a little ad in the paper. And lo and behold, this National Guard recruiter walked in the flower shop, no suit as I was like reading the thing. I was like, I gotta join.
That's because Big Brother was watching.
I was like,
and that was all staged.
Is that what?
Yeah. The CIA, FBI, they came in earlier and purposely had
that tells
the
me I'm
newspaper
special.
there and turned it open to that specific page and whatnot. Then they had the little camera zooming in from the street.
Right.
They knew exactly when you were reading the article, and then they saw the little smile on your face,
Right.
and then right then, go, action! And then the recruiter comes in,
Now,
and then you got the
fantastic?
the trumpets playing and whatnot, and the pomp and circumstance.
Right.
And
that's not what I heard.
Yeah.
I heard that. But I think with that level of attention to me, I gotta be special.
At that age.
I've gotta be a special person.
Right.
For God to put in that much, what I would call work.
To throw you on the front
throw
lines.
me on the front line. And I'm telling you, I had a blast. I had a
Really?
great time. My 7 years in the military were fantastic.
I'd be running the other way.
I had a
So
good
I
time.
thank God for those that serve in our military
Mm-hmm.
because they hold it down. Because if they had to wait for me to hold it down,
We all did.
we had no country.
Oh my
We all be
goodness.
speaking Spanish or something, or Chinese or something. You know, life would not be what we currently enjoy.
Oh,
So I
wow.
certainly appreciate them, all their hard work and commitment to defending something that sometimes doesn't give them as
Right.
much love back.
Right. Because I mean, I had a blow up at a state employees credit union the other day because I have USAA,
Mhm.
which is a military organized bank,
Mhm.
and they only have one branch in San Antonio,
Mhm.
and I go to the state and credit union because it's free for my ATM machine.
Right.
But I needed change for a 20. I went inside the bank to acquire change for a 20. It's a bank.
That's what a bank has.
That's what a bank does.
They got money, got change.
It's got change.
They can swap stuff out.
She said, no, you're not a member of our bank. We can't give you change. So I immediately called the supervisor. I said, ma'am, I served 7 years in our country's military, and I feel as though I should be able to get change. She was like, well, ma'am, we try to keep down on counterfeits. I was like, I got the money out of your ATM
What you mean
machine.
cut down on counterfeits? I don't understand.
I was so upset in her. I said, this is...
They got stuff where they can check counterfeit
That's
stuff.
what I thought, too.
You a bank, right?
That's what I thought.
That's
as
what
well.
banks do.
I was
You
confused.
check to make sure that at least you as the bank don't get banned. But I've been in convenience stores where they got the little black markers and they hold it up to the light
Right.
and they got stuff for that.
I said,
When you a bank
I just
and you
refuse
scared.
to believe
Mm.
that I fought so hard, and I fought hard for this country. And I've lost friends
Mhm.
for this country, and to be treated like that, I thought was preposterous. Like, oh my God.
Do you think it had perhaps been how you looked at the time?
I don't
Well,
want to.
well,
I
not
don't
at the
want to.
time,
I don't
but
want to
at
go
how you
into.
look.
No, I don't. I don't want to
you know,
believe that.
It is a bank, and sometimes
we were
you
in
know,
a very affluent neighborhood too.
right, and here you come strolling in.
Yeah, and I did look a little
Okay.
yesterday
You
afternoon.
weren't carrying the Gucci
No.
and the Coach and
No, I didn't
you
have
know,
the
the
shoes,
red bottom
flip-flops,
shoes
and
on
a
and whatnot.
little house
and-
dress.
Okay, so they might have thought that, you know,
Do we live in a world where we're judged by the basis of
all
our
day, every day.
outsides?
All day,
It's terrible.
every day. It's unfortunate, and it ought not be that way, but
It is.
It really is. It really, and in the South, it's probably a little bit more prevalent in that at least sometimes you know where you stand. So when people look at you a certain way, you sort of know why they're looking at you, or
Yeah.
you know what they can sort of.
Well, I've always gotten the side eye, especially going into the field of intimate relationships, and
Mhm.
people automatically think some sexual term, and it's like you're in the Bible Belt. People are not going to want to openly talk about sexuality, and I said, well,
Mhm.
I don't talk about sexuality.
But that's not the definition of intimacy.
Exactly.
And that's part of the problem
And that's where
that we have
the love
in
of the
our
coaching comes in.
society, because a lot of times, especially to a man, you
Mhm.
mention intimacy, automatically that means bedroom.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the
Right.
case.
Just because we do it slow, that don't make it intimate.
Right.
It doesn't.
Do it.
Because we do it slow.
Who's we?
Well, whoever the we is
I-
in your group.
Okay.
I don't want to exclude or include anyone. Just
Okay.
whoever is the we in your group.
Okay.
You can
Good.
pick.
Okay. Okay. But intimacy oftentimes in relationships
Yes.
start in the morning,
Yes, they do.
in the kitchen.
Yes, they do.
You know,
And people don't
it's-
know that.
You know, it's the hug.
It's the morning. It's
You
the
know,
good
it's the
morning.
kiss on the cheek. It's the, little pat on the butt as you walk past.
Yes.
It's the little flirty text messages during the course of the
The
day.
day, yes.
And the little emails and stuff like that, so that when you do come home in the evening, then it's on.
Right. It's,
You know,
you're
and
you're,
you've-
you're
you've
more
set the stage.
conducive to what may happen later versus I've been uptight all day, I've been in a funk all day, and you haven't even spoken to me.
Right.
You haven't even said anything to me. You don't even know. You don't care about my day. You don't care about what I got going on. Now
Take
you
off
want-
your clothes.
Right. Now you want get
Yeah.
out of here.
Exactly. It
Hit-
doesn't work that way.
Right.
But oftentimes we think that it does, and then when it doesn't, we're wondering what's wrong with the other person.
Right. And not
it's
what's
not
wrong with
necessarily
ourselves.
the other person.
Yeah.
Right. 'Cause
And a
we-
lot of us, we don't want to do that self-inventory. We don't want to say that there's something wrong or something that I'm not doing. That's when I find a lot of my clients who, female clients who get upset and he says, my husband, he doesn't want to do anything for me, and I'm sure that people would want to cheat, or he's always going to cheat, or something to that effect, right?
Mhm.
And it's always like, well, why are you afraid if he goes out and speaks to somebody? You shouldn't feel like he's going to cheat. You shouldn't feel like he's going to give you less, because you should be giving everything that you're giving. If you're giving 100%, and you know that you're giving your 100%, then if he walks away, then it's his bad.
It's his loss.
It's his loss.
Right.
And you have to keep rolling with that. But if you know that you know that you know that you know you're only giving 75%, you're only giving just enough, and all your relationship is just enough,
Right.
then stop complaining about it.
That is true. But even if you're giving 100%, sometimes you can give 100% in the wrong areas. So you're giving 100% in the kitchen,
Right.
and you have the meal all made from scratch, and you got the flour all over your face,
Right.
and
You
sweat
making
beads and
biscuits.
whatnot. Exactly. You making biscuits and all this other stuff, and you just making it happen. But you find out, lo and behold, I don't want biscuits.
Right.
I don't like biscuits. I don't
Right.
eat biscuits. But
Right.
yet you're pouring 100% into those biscuits, or into those desserts, or into that meal. But yet he wants this other thing.
Right.
So is it more than just providing 100%, or is it providing 100% in the area that speaks to his love language?
Well, I think what you're saying is sort of a double cup sort of situation, because I believe that when you give 100%, you give 100%. You can't give no more than 100.
Right.
That's my first rule.
Mhm.
You can't give no more than 100. But when you give 100%, let's say you're out here making biscuits and they don't like biscuits, you're not giving 100%. Because there is a love language that you need to learn. And once you learn that, now I know that you don't like biscuits, and yet I'm still in the kitchen making biscuits, then I don't like you.
Right. That's
That's
a
something.
self-defeating prophecy.
Right. It's already
And
something.
the relationship does not
But
work.
if you see me in the kitchen,
Mhm.
sweat beaded and everything, making biscuits, and you know you don't like biscuits, and you don't tell me you don't like biscuits, and you continue to eat my biscuits, but yet you go in the room every day and throw up or complain to your friends like, man, she making biscuits again, dude. I don't even
Or
like
they bring
biscuits.
them to work and use them as
And-
frisbees, and you know.
My biscuits are soft. I don't know about your biscuits.
What?
I make really good biscuits.
Really?
If ever I had to make them.
But are you making biscuits for somebody who appreciates and enjoys biscuits?
No, that's why I don't make biscuits.
Now, see, that's what I'm saying.
That's not their
That's
love
not their
language.
thing, right.
So I don't make biscuits.
So you got to find out their love language,
Right.
and make, and even if you're making biscuits, make the type of
I love
biscuits
this metaphor.
that they want. Because the type of biscuits, you over here making the blueberry biscuits, and they want the cinnamon biscuits.
Right.
So you got to be able to switch it up
And that's
every
called
now and then.
communication.
That is true.
That's
That is
the-
so key.
That's the thing. You've got to talk. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
have. And when I say communication, it's not just talking. It's being effective in your communication. It's saying, I like blueberry biscuits. I like cinnamon apple biscuits. It's saying what you like. It's not just saying, well, I appreciate a good biscuit every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, what kind of biscuit?
Be
Well,
specific.
I'm open. But I make a strawberry biscuit, and you're just like, oh, I don't eat strawberries. You said you were open to any kind of biscuit. Now, do you like strawberry? Not really. I don't really. I mean, I could do a biscuit, but I'd rather have an English muffin. I'm gonna punch you in the face because I've made it my point to satisfy your need and your desire.
That's right.
Because that's what I'm here for, to help you
Yes.
into your journey. So if you've given me this great, speech about how much you like biscuits and how much you're open to biscuits, I'm gonna start preparing biscuits.
That's right.
And if I'm halfway through about to put the tray in the oven and you say, well, I really could give for an English muffin, the tray will be in your
We're
face.
going to have problems.
We're going to have major, huge problems.
So
I'm not
communication
violent,
is
but
key.
It's huge. You can't get
And-
nowhere without
And
communication.
how you communicate, because if I don't like the biscuits you're serving, I could say, well, I don't like those biscuits, and I don't know why you fixing those biscuits, and I never liked your biscuits, and your biscuits are hard, and they old, and they dried up, and they got cobwebs
You're trying
on
to be
them, and
mean.
I don't.
You're trying to get slashed. I see that right now. You are a
So a
dangerous
person
man.
can communicate that way,
Yes, they can.
or the more positive way.
Right.
I really like you in the kitchen, and I really like
love the way
it
you
how
put
you
that
cook,
apron on and
you just look so
sexy.
good to me,
Yes.
and I just really appreciate that. Now, if we could, if you don't mind, add some blueberries
to those biscuits.
to those biscuits,
I appreciate
then
it.
that's gonna set it off.
Right.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have to get me some napkins, and I'm gonna have the drool
We're
going
gonna
down
have to
the
lock
side
the
of my
doors and
lips,
close
and
the curtains.
absolutely,
Exactly.
and get some gravy and just be sopping it up.
Right.
Because that's
That's
how I
just
like
how
it.
I like it.
Yeah.
And when you say that's how you like it, then your partner's supposed to respond to that.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. If your partner says, I like it I like being under the covers. Like, that's just how I like it.
Yep. Lights out.
Right. And I might like it that way for 6 or 7 months in a relationship.
And then change it.
And then one day I wake up and be like, you know what? I just want to be free. I don't want to be under the covers no more. Don't be like, oh, you've changed. Evolution is inevitable. Change is the only constant thing in this world.
That is true.
So if a person changed, you welcome change. You welcome that growth. You welcome that evolution. Don't just say, oh, well, you never changed. Or I hate when people say, no new friends. I feel like that's stagnant. It's in the same vein as you never change. Like if you never change, that means you never grow, you never get better, you never want more, you never strive for anything better than when you are.
Right.
And that's stagnant. And when you're stagnant,
it's really
you die.
tradition. Because that's what tradition is. We do the same things over and over just because. Now, I understand if you're doing the same thing over and over because you like it, you enjoy it, and everybody's in agreement with it. But just to do it just because. And we've always done it this way.
Right.
Just because. And this is the only way I know how to do it. Just because.
Right.
And we don't want to add no flavor, no twisting, no flipping, no anything else to it, then, you know.
I mean, can you imagine the conversation of the first time somebody wanted to put smoked turkey necks in the collard greens? I bet you that was a tough conversation.
That's
what
right.
do you mean? Smoked turkey necks? You know you need some neck bones, girl. You got to put some... It was more like, that's not how we do it.
Right.
And
That's
then
true.
what do? You become the outcast. And that's what you have to do in certain relationships. I tell people, if you want something that no one else has, you have to do something that no one else is willing to do. You've got to be able to do something different in your life if you want something different. You cannot expect the same thing. You cannot expect something different by doing the same thing. That's the definition of
Insanity. And so many people want change, but yet are fearful of change.
And unyielding. And
Yes.
unwilling.
And that's why they need a coach.
That's what we're
And
here
that's
for.
why they need somebody to talk to who can open up their eyes and let them see things from a different perspective.
Right.
Because contrary to popular belief, we don't have all the answers.
Right. And even a coach needs a coach. And I have my coaches in my life, and they've helped me to see things that I, don't see on my own. And that's what I love about the title that I tell people I gave myself this title of intimacy coach, because I didn't want to be a sex coach or a Dr. Love or anything like that, because I knew for me it was greater than that. It was more than that.
It goes deeper.
It was about falling in love with the real you. It was about seeing the intimacy, which I like to define as into me see. You see into me, to be able to reveal who I truly am to whomever I meet.
That's good.
That level of vulnerability allows me to be free. So even if I enter into a physical relationship with you, there's no hindrance, there's no representative. You are getting Nikeema. And when you get Nikeema and you act a fool, all power to you.
Right.
When you get Nikeema and you appreciate who she is, I'm telling you, it's the most amazing thing that you'll ever get in your life. It's like ice cold Kool-Aid on a hot day.
Yes, with the extra sugar.
Yes, like grandma Kool-Aid.
That's
yes,
right.
it is.
And
Sweetest
then
thing in the world.
And then the fat guy goes through the glass of
Yes.
the wall and says, "Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Kool-Aid." Yeah, okay. Yeah, Kool-Aid. What's your favorite flavor? Red. Family, we're here talking to Nikeema Lee. Please go to her website, NikeemaLee, NikeemaLee.com. That is a name that will be dripping off of your lips for the next week, the next month, and the next year. Hit her up on social media, Twitter and Instagram at Nikeema Lee, Facebook at Nikeema Lee Coaching. You definitely want to know this young lady. She's everyone's favorite intimate relationship coach. If you want to have a better relationship, if you want to have a better relationship not only with somebody else but also with yourself, Nikeema Lee is the person that you need to know. Thank you, Nikeema, for being here on the Profit and Growth Hour.
I feel more profitable and more growth has happened in my life since I've been here with you.
Well, see, that makes me feel special. I have the butterflies on the inside and little birds dancing around my head.
Yay! I'm glad I can impart that into your life today.
And that you did. Family, don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Profit and Growth Hour, and I am your host, Dr. B. business here on WDRB Media and WGIV, the soul of Charlotte.